What the? What a brilliant piece of shit. Piece of shit. Did you create my wife promised us not to sign our page? Yes. You know what? Fuck you then. I'm gonna play on Chess.com. It's, I got it. Hmm. That's gonna go ahead. Hmm. You're playing it like a Dutch. That's all right. Question is, do I want to take the knight? Do I want to take the pawn? If I take the knight, remove or take back because that will hit this. So he will most probably take back and I'll get a pawn there. If I take the pawn, then I'm allowing more pieces here, which may or may not be in my favor, I think. Mm. If I take with this and he just saves that, then he's preparing for this. I don't have the access to this guy, so I guess take the knight. There's no this stuff because this defense. Yeah, it's just okay. Hmm. I can just go back. Hmm. Should I take him for some? Pawn takes. The c5 pawn can be put under pressure with bishop b2 and queen here. And I would don't want to take this knight with knight f6, knight takes. Put my bishop here. Yeah, I guess I'll take. And then develop my rooks now. I'm feeling like developing them like this. That makes c4 also better now. For some reason I feel like developing my rook like this. And then going f5 down here. They will have this play three of it in that case. This to go back. And then you go here and here. Yeah, I like rook a6. Hmm. Let's come at all. That gives me this square. Oh, I have no time. Over here. It's temporarily this rook will stay here. Oh, that's interesting. What are you doing about this? Oh, you can push because this. It takes. That's interesting. Oh, that's not. Can't play with the mouse. Mouse too slow. Have to play either longer game, which are boring because they take too long. Uh, yeah, he is doing this jacks which are not sound, but the thing is, I don't have time. I can't move this because I have to go on to several times. F4 might be in between 5. Yeah, so he stops F4 exactly what's stopped. Takes the. He cannot take the other in the base. Because the G pawn is pinned, he cannot take. This won't be able to take because my queen is pinning the G pawn. I don't know. Yeah, no time. Can't play with the mouse. I guess I can continue playing like this so that it's not doesn't get boring with the long things of opponents. But then I'll have to make them casual. I don't know, I don't care about the rating, so let's just continue. Let's just shoot rating anyways. The Rubinstein variation of the French, Black gun defense of the Rubinstein variation of the French. All normal stuff so far, c5. If he takes on c5, my bishop comes out. If he doesn't take, then I take on b4. That's my rule. This is not an ideal placement for my bishop because the last guy bishop wants to go to c7, yeah. And I don't have this because queen b7. Yeah, no, I can't trouble the queen there. Queen c7, I can. It's going bishop b5, and then this he takes, and then after this he will also place. Great, great, great. Or you can just move like this, then take, take b1, b3. Oh, d3 not sack, take, queen sack. Yeah, I'm gonna set up something tricky, which obviously there would be defense. Oh, son of a bitch! I thought he was coming in. Son of a bitch. Okay, nice. The line I was going for was bishop g5, which makes more sense because you want to take this and then take this. I would go here, and on here I would throw it into mezzo. And let's say he. Oh, but he cannot stay here to keep defending. And let's say doing that. Take. If now, I thought queen f4 something where he can take back. In that case, I would have had this, and rucksack because the bishop's spinning this pawn, and my queen comes in. That's mate. That's the kind of thing I was going for, but psychologically, my hand makes too fast when I'm suffering from bad lag or any reason to make my game slower. I will have the game here shortly. Good for you. Okay, b4. Let's go for the London. Let's go for the development. Boring. Okay, okay, okay. Now what you done? If a simple knight to 6 or anything, I take. Yeah, that's better. Should have to go knight is 6 something. Oh, I guess, yeah, he can do that. Can do that. But then when I take, you have to take with GF. Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. And take, but in this. Yeah. If you go back, then I am threatening. Yeah. The leech. And then the knight is going to be rook, so I don't have any discoveries. Alright, now I'm just going to go a6, okay. Now we go a6 then. Well, like knight here takes one take. Then I don't have that one take. A6, c3, a6, knight d6. Yeah, I guess x takes c3, a6, knight d6. It doesn't seem. Oh, what about bishop a6? Pawn a6 takes the rook, yeah. And rook e8, knight g7, queen takes there. Yeah, but my knight does get kind of trapped, so it's two pieces for a rook. What was I doing? Okay, it's saying. Why are there only two options for us? To either play on chess.com or leeches. Why are there not more options? Because both of these suck, absolutely suck. Game abandoned because I was thinking. When I'm playing a 3 plus 2, I can think for a minute if I want. Idiots. Absolutely idiots. Oh, it's a Dutch. I would have gone for d4 clicks. Okay, let's play the Raphael variation. That's not the name. That's very short. Well, the idea is quite clear that aiming for the e4 break, which I think I can do right now. Uh, it doesn't yield much. Do I keep my knight in a4? Give it the bishop. Move knight c5. They will get me eventually, so I know the bishop will be decent. I remember this is somewhat good. I don't exactly remember why, whatever, anything like that. And take to g6 is not a move. Good. Maybe takes, then g6. Bishop queen h5, g6, queen. Okay, but then what? Then back to d1 because after the move at d4. So inducing g6 doesn't seem like it does all that much. If I go here, he will take. I don't have much to show for it. And from here, I'm not really threatening anything except stopping him from castling. I forget where exactly the compensation is from, or where exactly the advantage is from, but I remember there used to be some advantage in this. Yeah, I think you capture this also. Then there's, I don't remember. This is to induce d5 so that then his e5 pawn break becomes weaker. So that would be a mistake by him to do because it's not a. So yeah, here's the thing. This is when I get a little bit 2000 seeing all of that, huh? That quick. Maybe they're getting better. The point was that I take this, and then I get my bishop back here, and then his e5 break becomes more difficult. Mhm. Just gonna do it like that, huh? Well, okay, now you cannot go d6 and I think because I take and I take on e6. Well, I take immediately on e6. So what is the drawback if it doesn't go there? Yeah, now it's preparing to go d5. Now this knight here, don't have. So I guess I'll just move with the knight. e5 is too well covered. e5 takes this. Maybe open knight f5 anyways. Reroute the bishop. There's no knight in f6, so this battery might be problematic for him. So I'll go queen d3 first. This battery might be problematic because there's no knight in f6. Yeah, he can go g6, but there's something else, something more to work for me with. Okay, so he's going queen there. Okay, quite annoyingly, these people are somehow quite good for this time control. This turn mates, if he goes queen d6, that will be very pressing annoying because there's no real more tactics for that. He does have double pawns. That should be certainly better for me there. And what am I gonna do? Play an endgame for that? The long technical game? Oh, okay, that was the point. That's annoying. With the g4, there's no. I guess I have h4. I do have h4. I do have this takes. It doesn't work immediately. h4, if it takes, then what do I take with? 1. This looks. This is something. It can do something. Something. I should have actually gone go here. Oh, but he can just take this thing. Then I could have taken if it takes back. Yeah, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, take. Yeah, see, this is where you need a bit of time. Bit of time. Now the knight will move and attack to the silver bit threat. What else? Hmm, no time. No time. You can never play d6 until he protects d6, so maybe bishop d4 something. So that's a move. That's a move. That is a move. That is a bad move by me. But there is no time. No time. Did I play this before the time ran out? How is it not registering? Yeah. Only two options. You can play either on leeches or on chess.com. And both are going to block. Stupid. Rosenstein. Black turn defense for Rosenstein. C5. Same stuff. Okay, the Kasparov C3. Hmm. Kasparov 7 C3. That's not how it's played though. They try to bring in early knight here or they try to bring in early here. Kasparov doesn't make Doesn't choose line that don't. Oh, that is interesting. So guy won't take here. Maybe over here b3. I don't know. They have studied the opening so deeply. They haven't studied shit. Take, but whenever they do takes the knight e5, what the takes, takes and queen takes e5, if bishop e7, then rook b8 picks up the b2 pawn. I'm getting mauled in this advanced match. I'll look at you again a bit. Um, okay. That's nine. That's nine. Knight needs to defend d7 so that the rook doesn't come in. We can double all he wants, but I'm staying on d7 is tough square. Which means maybe I need to go e5 more, but I don't want to give this square. Maybe not that big a deal if I do give that square. It's gonna do what? Before? No, I don't think so. And go b6, free up my bishop, my rook on b8. Yeah, queen is protecting currently, so it does stop this because then it would hit with this. Sorry. I'll go here for now. Manat protects d7, Manat stops this. This is what I want to do, but now he's played this, as if, again, as if he's in 25, 2600 feet, they're seeing everything in advance. If he has this power, what is this really doing? Because you don't have c5 immediately. He won't be able to tell you verbally that it's actually stopping e5, and if you want to e5, then you have to go d4, you have to go h6, which weakens in the long term the structure. How it weakens it, he won't be able to answer. I guess that they're putting this in advance because they're anticipating this. So whenever e5 comes, his bishop will be here, placed like this. Now get this, but maybe he needs just one move for a knight to be away from there, and he will try to enter. No, no, I'll just have to this. I guess I'll have to try and see. Maybe he's going to bring here. Which will have to go back. Oh, look at that. Trying for the future. Winning the night. Winning the night so that after this. We've seen this. We've seen this. Fucking 2000 playing like this. My ass. E4 is stopped by this resource, which is the only kind of resource. Otherwise, everything else looked bad for white. It looked very good for me. Or looked promising at least. So now I guess I have to move here. No, this is possible. No, this is possible. Mm, get this, but then you'll get good pieces. Pieces. Wow. What a pieces. Now I've got four. What else three? Yeah. And now I'll take this way. Look at that. Look at that. Now we should something or hit or something. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, he's acting as if he's thinking. Now he'll somehow find a way to stop this mate too. I'm struggling to find it, but no, he did not. That's mate. Okay, you can't now because I'm still playing. You should be ending softly. Okay, when you're done with it, then you send it. When you're done with it, you send it on Messenger, and I think I'll be able to see when the I'll be able to hear the notification whenever that comes. Yeah, well, this is basically everything. It's just in the end this trick worked due to the past, so that he allowed only three. Um, takes. Yeah, that's all fine, but and the main thing here is that e6 is not available for the rook to come behind the passer. And once the passer reaches the second rank, then the rook can go here to stop. So he has to give the bishop, or he has to give it up. And even if he could come behind it, it won't be safe, won't save him. But the point was my rook gets here, and now he really needed to keep these files, central files covered because e6, something I'm taking. What I saw was trying to do one of the things was to put the pawn here, block these two squares, and then go here and try for mate. But it shouldn't be that hard to do. Bloody, not this. After he goes there, yeah, I didn't need to take that, I could have straight away done this. And now the problem for him is e6 is again not available. We can hit my rook once, the rook moves. Oh yes, actually that was a defense, man. That was a defense. Because now he stopped this match. I can check one here, but now I cannot keep checking him. Because on this check he will block. So basically they don't have to waste a move, come in, and then try to figure something out. And yeah, it still looks difficult for him. Because he cannot do this thinking that I will defend because I'm also in this match. Yeah, I think that was a difficult meeting not to get out of. Crooks can create that sometimes. But yeah, I think the reason for your loss is because you're listening to the stream, which is distracting. What is this? Play the Jarash. Oh, he plays e3. That's not. He's playing e3, which is kind of a solid, more solid approach. I can give him an IQP instead of myself getting an IQP. And I can block the d5 point. d5 takes. Yeah, he cannot go d5 straight away. I'll block d5. Do I have this? Maybe first get my king to safety. I don't want one of these checks. They're problematic. After b6, c6 gets weakened. Okay, so I played the Taraj. I offered him to give me the IQP when I would have played with the IQP, but he chose to play e3 symmetrical type. And now I gave him the IQP, so we'll play against an IQP. We still can go d5, castles, and I'm very close to going, completing. Yep, the most important square when trying to fight against, not against, when trying to fight, yeah, I guess against, like when trying to punish a weak pawn, an isolated pawn, a backward pawn, and it's such target, when trying to punish them, it's very important to keep control of the square in front of them. When you keep control of the square in front of them, they can never get rid of it. It is very nicely blockaded. Why is blockade important? Blockade is important because that assures you that when the phases of the game slowly pass, when finally the end game is reached, that thing is going nowhere. Still going to be on d4 and still going to be weak. Of course, that is all theoretically. Queen is coming in. I don't have a knight on f6. Maybe I should play knight on f6, but then queen f3 and I struggle to put the bishop on b7. I guess I can allow the queen in to g4. He goes to g3 and then threatens bishop h6. So I'll go rook e8 or something. Yeah, it's a 3-2. I think this is a richer game. This should be a done. This is a richer game. So here he's threatening. Even if I go now 6, he just goes drops back, and then he's threatening h6. If I go back here, then there's this. I guess I can go queen here if it takes. Then bishop b7, queen takes, rook takes. But he won't take, I think. Instead of taking, he would do rook c1 or something. Queen b7, and then queen is really poorly placed if he simply moves g3 anyways. So that doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe I'll just go bishop f6 in the end of it. Not play knight f6. Other thing I can do is go rook e8 and bishop f8, but the thing is, my rook on e8 is badly placed, which I don't want. Queen g3, knight e4 is something as well. So then queen f3. I don't know, but now the knight is out of the control of d5 square, which is something to pay attention to. I don't have time, I'm gonna lose some time again. For no reason. Yeah, this shit does not work, he's just... Oh, I guess he's getting two pieces for that, but then how are you dealing with a lot of other stuff? There's queen here. Can I go bishop d2 even? No. Oh, the queen is on that light square, so I don't have queen there. Can I go into game? Come on, downward. Okay, no. I have very nice patience and all that, so I wouldn't say that is like no, but now we have to figure um so that's not how do they find all of that always? How do they find all of that? Gonna take the rook. Yeah, he's gonna take the rook. That's a double attack. Yeah. Alright. I'll go back to the top line tutor then. If I have to continue playing while speaking and explaining, I think I need to increase the time. Otherwise, it's becoming a pattern of mine to go low in time. What needs a game then? Definitely not. You can now listen playing. Definitely not. Yes, you should not listen to this thing while playing. You can mute it or something. Look at some tip. Longest game ever. You know what I might do? What I was thinking, I might actually start playing in Fritz. That's a chess base site or app feature where you can play online. It doesn't have a lot of features. You cannot really, very limited, but you can play there. What I don't understand is if some Rufus doofus from France can set up a whole the servers and everything for free, why are there still only two of these sites? Why do people not have more options? I understand the monopoly game of chess.com, but still, not that hard. What I don't understand is also why India has not created or tried one so far. France is like miles and miles and miles away, so anyone playing from India automatically has the biggest lag there, first of all. Same for chess.com, that's US based. Their servers, I think, are in US, so that's even farther away. So what I don't understand is when some doofus from France can make it for free, why are there only two options for us? And if both of them turn out to be, yeah, I will write to Chessbase, I'll write to Saga. We need to start a project. Seriously. Oh, I guess Chessbase already has it, so you won't get much help from them, maybe. Maybe you will, let's see. There are shit tons of developers here. When I knock or I join, just resign. I'm pissed and okay, I'll stop my game then. Cancel, cancel. Just tell me the username or it must be the last name. I can straight away copy paste. You don't even have to send anything. Rookie one, rookie one. I really don't want to open this stupid leeches site again. They're moderators, they're eager, you know, eager this to go. Absolute assholes. Uh, but I guess I'll have to open it on leeches. Other idea is to paste, copy paste. Look, time. Last game. French advanced game. Millerberry Gambit. You played against the Millerberry. Is your opponent's name Malabar 1922? Why can I with you on the? Why can be on with you? Oh, you can. You're talking about the stream together on Twitch. Yeah, we can try it again. Malabar. It can rhyme with Malabar. That you named him. Are you talking about streaming together on Twitch? Okay, I'll open Firefox then. Firefox. Stream together. What is this? Okay, invite guest. We're already in the favorites. Courtney KE79. Sent the invite. Have you joined? Oh, you have joined. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Now copy the source link. And
Then it goes.
copy the source link, browser, property, paste. Okay. I can enable it, disable line, paste it here. That's good.
Is it working?
Should it be a cell? Okay.
Would you say?
It is working, of course. It will appear that it is working, but it's about the second step. Alright, so that is done. Mozilla Firefox. Your video is not on there. Why is that? Maybe
My
the
videos are on the stream, right?
huh?
The video is not on your channel on Twitch.
Not yet, but it should be there because I just copy pasted this as you're supposed to, the source URL of this meeting to be where the camera goes.
Right.
But your video is not showing up for some reason so far.
Hmm.
I'll remove this one.
It's all right.
Remove.
I don't need my video on.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I have to go through that OBS, even though it's not through my OBS to.
What I don't understand is why when the clouds are on the screen, they're not showing something. It is.
I don't know.
There's something on the bottom of this, otherwise this is complex.
Yeah, hold on. All right. We just. I don't feel like dealing with it right now. But I'm pissed off because I want to review that game. I don't know how to do it. I didn't read up on it. I didn't read anything. But it was working. Yesterday it was even working. So it was different. Last night.
I don't know. Maybe I restart the stream.
What?
Maybe I restart the stream.
What? I can't. What did you say? You sound mumbled.
It's still not showing us.
It's fine. I'll just leave the stream. Can't be this hard though. Do you just want to? Are you trying to figure out, or do you want me just to leave and you can just review the game, or you could just have my face there and you can review the game? But in order for me to hear it and see the game, I have to go back to your Twitch channel, and currently I'm as a guest star.
That's working. Okay, your game link. I have to find your game. Yeah.
But now, how do I watch it? Because I'm on this guest star twitch.tv guest star tab. But if I go over to your Twitch channel, I think it's going to provide
delay. There's going to be delay.
gift like. Well, I'm going to hear things twice.
Yeah, there's going to delay. So maybe what you do is you I'll open a Zoom call, you interact on Zoom, and you don't watch the stream, you don't look at the Twitch, you don't look at anything else. We do it as if it is a Zoom meeting. You mute the Twitch, you mute the Twitch stream, you mute everything else outside of Zoom. Okay?
How do I mute Twitch?
Whatever device Twitch is on, among other things.
I see. Oh.
Whatever device Twitch is
hold on.
You can mute the whole device.
I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm not. Can you talk?
I'm talking. Okay. So I'll start,
Okay,
and if there's lag, then we'll do the Zoom way.
There's lag.
Normal, regular, advanced French. Is there lag? Because if there's lag, then I will do it through Zoom.
There's lag.
Okay, if there's lag, then mute the Twitch, whatever the device the Twitch is on. Then mute the stream together window of the Twitch. Okay. The only thing you should have on audio is Zoom. Okay, I'll start a Zoom and send you a link.
Okay.
That's the only way I think to avoid the lag. Send the message. Send the invite link on Messenger.
You sent it?
Are you in Zoom? You don't need your
Yep.
video on for Zoom.
Are you in Zoom? You don't need your video on for Zoom.
Okay.
Um,
Does it matter?
So you can mute everything else. Okay.
Okay.
Mute everything else. The only thing on should be Zoom,
the only thing on should be Zoom.
and your Zoom is also audible to me, which
Your Zoom
which
is
should be the case. So whatever device your Zoom is on, use the AirPods on that,
on
so that you only hear
I'm
me.
not using
on that.
AirPods right now because I can't find them. Hold on, let me get my computer charger, but it's working. It's so cold here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's so right. Hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Oh, yeah. So normal advanced French.
Yeah,
so normal advanced French. Things I don't know. I think I took upon where I shouldn't have. I don't know. Really, Brady, I don't crushed know. Me. He crushed. He just really, my heart. Really, the game. Crushed everything. Me. He crushed me. The game. Pissed everything. Off. Not pissed. I'm just sad. Pissed off. Not pissed. I'm just sad. I can't cause this damn Scarlet. I can't cause this damn Scarlet. Okay. You muted me.
Yeah, I muted you on Zoom because there were two voices.
Yeah, I muted you on Zoom
See,
because
I
there were
can
two.
still hear whatever
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying. I can hear it 1 second
See,
later.
I can still hear whatever I'm saying. I can hear it
You have to
1
mute the
second
Zoom,
later.
or you have to
From
mute
your end,
the Twitch. You have to mute
you
one.
have to mute the Zoom, or you have to mute the Twitch. You have to mute one of.
Got it.
Muted.
Muted.
I muted Twitch. I can just hear you once.
Well, then why can I hear myself after I speak?
Well, then why can I hear myself after I speak?
And that
No,
too
hold
with
on.
like
Let me
2
check, make
seconds
sure.
delay.
And that too with like 2 seconds delay.
You're muted. You're muted on both Twitches.
Yeah, okay,
I can
I'm muted,
unmute
but I
you on a
think you
Twitch
need
and
to
mute you
also
on
mute.
Zoom.
Yeah, okay, I'm muted, but I think you need to also
the
mute. You need to
use the AirPods
do
for the
the.
Zoom meeting.
I don't know. Well, I guess I can find them. Hold on, let me go get them. I found them, but I have to connect them now. Are these them? is not working? For fuck's sake.
It's not working. The AirPods are not working.
It's not working. The AirPods are not working.
No. No, they're working on my phone. Okay, so if I turn that off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Okay. Is that better? Can you hear yourself twice now?
Yeah, that fixed it, and that was the point. Now I'm not hearing two of mine
How-
because whatever I was
how did
saying,
that
your
fix
Zoom
it?
call was reflecting it back to me a second later. All right. Now that the lag should also have been fixed
Should also
because
have
you're
been
just
fixed
now we're just doing a Zoom meeting, right?
because we're just doing a Zoom meeting, right?
Right.
All right.
Fuck.
All right.
There we go.
Why can I hear myself again?
Why can I hear myself again?
Because my AirPods died. Hold on. I plugged them in. Hello?
Hello?
Ah, they're dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see how much battery.
I can mute the entire thing, but then I won't
I
be
can
able to
mute the
hear you.
entire thing, but then I won't be able to hear you.
Do that
But
for now until they
I'll
charge.
mute it
But I'll
because
And I'll just type.
mute it because
otherwise I'm hearing myself.
otherwise I'm hearing
I
myself.
muted
Yeah,
I
mute
muted it.
and
So I
type.
muted the
Okay. Okay, so yeah, the sound's calling. Okay. All right, so this is your regular advanced French. Everything normal. This is normal, and this is the sort of attempt to play the Millenberry, which is if you take
play the Millenberry, which
the
is if you take
central pawn
the second pawn,
to
the central pawn
give you some
to
troubles later on. Queen
give you
b6 is
some troubles
correct.
later on.
Castles, and then you do take.
B6 is
And
correct.
there are two ways to play the Millenberry. Usually,
Castle
the one
Millenberry,
considered
usually
better is to
the one
not take
considered
back.
better is
Keep the option open for black
to
taking on c3, so
not
they
take
develop
back.
nicely like that.
Taking on
But
c3, so they
usually
develop nicely like that.
in that line also
But
black doesn't
usually
take, and eventually they do
in
take,
that line
and
also
then this
black
knight
doesn't
comes to
take,
b3.
eventually they do take, and then
Stuff
this
like
knight
that.
comes to b3.
Here they did take
Stuff
it,
like
and the
that.
yes taking is correct. Very
Here they
good.
did take it,
Takes is
and the
correct.
yes
Knight
taking is
c3, and here
correct. Very
h6
good.
is the
Takes
move.
is correct. Knight
This
c3,
is
and
by
here
now
h6 is
because
the
they always
move.
play knight c3 most
This is
often.
by now
Regardless
because
if
they
they play
always
it or
play
not,
knight
even if they go rook e1 22, which are the other
c3
two
most
moves,
often.
you still
Regardless of
always go
rook e1
a6.
f22, which are the
a6
other
is
two
a
moves.
very
You
important move
always
here.
go a6. a6 is a
It's
very
theory
important move
basically.
here.
Now at this point, it is theory.
It's theory basically.
That's the
Now at this
first
point,
thing
it is theory.
I
That's
put in the
the
lines
first thing
when I was
I
looking
put
at
in the
this.
lines
Because without
when I
a6,
was looking at this.
it's
Because without
always
a6,
problematic. Because
it's always problematic.
for
Because
example, if you even
and for
take, for
example,
example, if they go like bishop,
if you
let's say you go
even take, for example, if they go
bishop
like
e7 or whatever, and they go let's say even this, right? And you take on
let's
e7.
say
Now
you
you're
go,
down. Now you're
you
up 2
take
pawns.
e
But now you're
e
gonna
now
get in trouble.
but now you're gonna get in
All
trouble.
right, now you're gonna get in trouble.
All right, now you're
Maybe
gonna
not
get
in
in
this
trouble.
particular line, but you get the idea.
Maybe not
Let's
in this
say
particular
some
line, but
a3 or
you get
something,
the
and then
idea.
you take
Let's
this, and
say
now you're getting in
some
trouble, especially if
h3
this bishop is not there.
or something,
Because
especially if this bishop is not there.
this knight starts taking
Because
with knight b4 and stuff, or sometimes with your bishop here.
this
So that
knight
if you take, then the knight comes here.
starts
And
hitting with
other than
knight
that,
is here.
there are other
So that if you
so
take, then
b5
the knight
square
comes here.
is If it's not clear from the variations I showed, but you can take
It
my
was
word
not
for
clear
it.
from the
A6
variations I
is
showed, but
extremely, yeah,
you
this
can
you
take my
cannot do.
word for it.
A6 is
A6
extremely
is
important here,
extremely, yeah, this you
taking away
cannot
the
do.
bishop
A6
square. And after
is
that, you
important here,
also have to really believe and
taking it square. And
understand
after that,
and
you
have the
also have to
confidence
really
that
believe and
you
understand
are
and have the
under,
confidence that
you have
you
no
are
problems.
you have no
Here, this is much
problems.
better. Then the
Here, this
gambit
is much
will be
better.
refuted after this.
Then the gambit will be refuted after this.
Taking the second pawn is a recipe for quick disaster, usually.
Taking the recipe
If
for
you
quick
take it immediately,
disaster,
and
usually, if you take
yeah,
it
queen
and
c7, he can, for example, just take here.
yeah, queen
And
c7,
this
he
is
can, for
basically
example,
just the
just
kind
take
of
here.
thing the
And this is
Villa-Berry
basically
ones
just
are
the kind
going
of
for.
thing Villa-Berry
That's
ones
what
are
they're
going
going
for.
for,
That's what
right?
they're going for,
And
right?
so they have
Yeah.
done it 1,000 times. So it's not about
And
them
so they
finding
have
it.
done it
It's
1,000 times.
that's the
It's not
whole.
about them
These are
finding
the
it.
tactical patterns.
That's the whole.
Knight
These
takes
are the
d5 or knight
tactical
knight
patterns.
b
Knight takes
here
d5 or
or
knight
bishop here to try to kill
knight
knight here.
here or
So if you
bishop
had
here
gone
to
like,
try
for
to kill the knight
example,
here.
um,
So if you had gone like,
queen
for
d6
example,
to save it, to keep an eye here, then bishop b5 is one of the moves,
b5,
or even knight b5, because then your king is not castling if you take it. So
um,
that's why a6 is really important.
that's
And
why
once a6
a6
has been played,
is
then you
really
don't have to worry
important.
much about it.
And once it has been played,
You
then you
can
don't have to
sometimes
worry
even
much
take
about
this,
anything.
but you don't need a
You
second
can
extra pawn. You
sometimes even
have an
take this,
extra
but you
pawn.
don't need
You
the
have a
second
protected
extra pawn. You have an extra
passer
pawn.
on
You have a
d5 as
protected
your extra pawn.
passer
That's
on
more than enough
d5
to
as your
convert this
extra
in the
pawn.
end game
That's
if it
more than
reaches the
enough to
end game
convert
without
this
any
in the
problems
end
for
game
you, right?
if it reaches
You
the
already
end game without
have
any problems for you,
enough
right?
enough
You already
enough
have
a
enough
team to convert.
of
You have enough things
a team to
that will
convert.
aid
You
you for a
have
very nice
a
conversion if it simply reaches
very
the
nice.
end game. Yeah. Yeah, that is basically why they're playing Villa-Berry. Um,
Yeah.
it's amazing still that Black is
It's
actually has
amazing still that
survived
Black is actually has
this
survived
far and is only down a pawn.
this far.
You can check and pick up his bishop. He will have queen c8. No, you can simply check and pick up his bishop. He's trying to be over smart, but he shouldn't be. Now there's no check because this diagonal is covered, so there's no check. Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is an over smart move that, well, not an over smart move. It's good that he's able to see that. If you remember, this is a theme that was also there in those Susan Polgar tactic book, where I show you that this is a cross pin, right? This is very good pattern to know. That's a cross pin. Now the point is basically, for example, his king was on h2, and of course also that this if this was not there, but even if this was there, if his king was on h2, then that is it. You cannot take this because your queen is lost, right? And you cannot take the queen because the bishop is pinned. So unless and until you can add another attack defender to it, which here you can, but otherwise this could have actually cost you material. So this is actually a very good tactical pattern to be aware of. The only trouble here is that your queen gets out of the pin, and then you are actually doing very fine because you're up material, right? And it doesn't have mate after that. Your pieces have you survived. He wasn't able to mate you. You survived, and now you're up a bishop, so you would have actually converted this. 12:01. Hold on. 12:01 is your time, so you have 12 minutes. So you resign. You resign. You survived. You survived the whole time. When I would have resigned, I would have resigned earlier because it seemed like okay, it's just one-sided. It's made is coming. Um, and here you resign at a blunder. That's a bit of a tragic comedy, as we say. And here he doesn't have bishop f1 because that removes the pin of the bishop. So yeah, this check was good. But there's always these two things that you know we have as humans a tendency when we are looking for attacks, we are only looking at our plans, and that goes both ways. They also do that. Our opponents also do that. So they are looking at where can their piece maneuver from, where can their piece go to produce an active idea. But they're not looking at all at any consolidation or defensive stuff. They're what prophylaxis they need to do if their opponent has something good. Um, and the same thing it goes mentally when you are defending, and then you're not looking at your own stuff. You're just saying, "Oh, how do I stop mate? How do I? I'm getting mated. I'm getting mated." It goes both ways. It's also right when you're attacking, you have to look
Yeah.
at what he has, and when you're defending, you have to also always look at what you have. Counterattack and attack and
Right.
counterattack, and vice versa. You can unmute me now. Well, if I unmute you, then I'll have to not speak because otherwise I hear two of myself. Do you follow?
No, not with the AirPod. No, AirPods.
AirPods. AirPods what? Oh, okay. Ask to unmute. Uh, all right. I think I have to unmute you on the Twitch stream.
This gets confusing.
Bloody Windows. Did I mute you? Yeah. Oh, actually, I muted my laptop.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's my laptop. Whole laptop.
Only one of you?
Huh? Yeah.
And you can only hear yourself once? So
Yeah.
it came down to was I didn't play a6 and I took queen takes e5. No, queen takes d5, and instead I should have played a6 at that point, which I was struggling that whole time. And I did see the check. I didn't like F it. And that's why I left.
Yeah, see. Your audio is cutting. Your
So
audio is
here,
cutting on the
a6.
stream.
Oh.
Yeah, here's the A6. Here's where at this point, this has to be part of like your theory. This has to be part of like your.
I didn't
Like,
know. I don't think I knew this.
okay.
I thought the Milner Berry was just that trick, just the trick where they get the queen.
that is just one of the tricks. Like if black doesn't go bishop d7, then this check wins the queen. But the thing is, it's a whole opening, so that's not just what they can base it around.
I
What they
didn't.
base it around is they
I
sacrifice
just am realizing this.
this g4 pawn, and then they also sacrifice the e5 pawn. The point is that they get an open rook here against your king. So first of all, knight takes d5 is a threat, and if you keep defending d5, then there will be b5 as a problem. Knight the b5 square as a problem. Knight b5 comes, and then you can no longer really do much, and then there will be bishop f4 and stuff. So black gets crushed very quickly there. Black gets under huge, there's a huge initiative there. So a6 is by this point. Okay, from now on, a6 should be theory for you basically. You don't have to reason here. You don't have to think here.
Okay.
A6 is the only move that can be played here basically. You cover b5. And then then you
Okay.
continue playing normally. You figure out development, and then you have to also remember that other than Yeah, now the rookie one is if you don't take the e5 pawn, then you have your king has more protection. D5 has more protection because e6 is never pinned because there's a pawn in front of e6, right? So there would be no pins on the e file. So you can figure
Hmm.
out development from here, right? And once you
So
develop,
don't take that pawn.
I sometimes do take that pawn because after I've played a6, and if they are not playing optimally, then I see no reason to not take it. For example, if I've played my bishop to e7, then I know that e file is never going to be pinned. Knight d5 is not never going to be a move, right? I've covered this. I've covered everything. If you've covered everything, then that is the part you can reason that do I take it or not. But usually you're not able to take it because then the main follow-ups are to go with the rook to e1, queen to e2, etc. With the bishop to e3, and then you get your queen back here or sometimes go here. That stuff you can figure out during the play. But a6 is non-negotiable. A6 has to be played. A6 is now as far as
Okay.
it goes for you. A6 should be now at this point theory. Yeah.
Why don't you
Huh?
play a game and then I can ask you questions before you move.
Okay.
Before you move.
Okay. Allplayonchess.com. Did you know Leeches banned my account?
Or what?
Yeah. I figured it,
When?
I found it out on stream too. I opened it and then I said, oh, that's unusual. Why am I logged out? I didn't reopen the OBS. It was already open. So I always open, the OBS is always logged in if I haven't logged it out manually. But it was logged out. So I try logging back in and they say you have made more than one account. So you have violated a little policy and they banned the account.
That's bullshit. Both of them?
No, the one I made for Twitch. The other one, they have.
We'll just go back to your other one then.
Yeah, the other one, what they did is because they didn't have a good proof to do anything against me there. They didn't have any proof to do anything against about that account. What they did is they actually made it invisible. So I cannot receive any message there. I cannot send any message from there. If I post a
Yeah.
game on
I
the
can't
lobby,
follow you.
you cannot follow me. If I post a game on the lobby, nobody will see it. You know. So basically, they've made it like that invisible, so it can never grow. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to
Can
not
you
allow.
go do another one?
Huh?
Can you
Yeah,
do another one? Like close
basically,
it?
so basically, I'll be making new accounts is all. I'll be continuously making new accounts, and 5 days, 6 days later, they will close. They closed it because I actually submitted an application for the streamer page, right? And then the moderators, that's when the moderators saw,
Oh.
and they, of course, they track stuff like IP and all that, and they track stuff they're not supposed to, and they will not admit, they cannot admit, but they do that, they track that stuff of yours, all right, so they can figure out that, okay, this device is being used, this device and this IP address and this area, and this stuff was previously used by such and such account, so these are all accounts of the same person. You know what I'm saying? So they figured that out
Yeah.
by that stuff that something they're not supposed to do ethically and legally, right? But they cannot admit to
Right.
that either. So, yeah, basically, the biggest problem, the only problem is that we have just two options to choose from, and as long as they're going to be monopolies like that, we are always going to,
Yeah.
you know, be helpless against the shit.
I played to change the subject. I played the Rubinstein today and I almost got caught in it. And isn't there a trick you showed me that if I take what I think is a free bishop, my
Your voice cut out. After you said, if I take a free bishop, your voice cut out. You'll have to repeat. You there? Your voice is too loud. Nope, your voice is too loud. It has nothing to do with any of your things. It's just like when mine gets mumble, your gets like electronically. It sounds electronically jumbled. You can speak something now. Maybe now it will be alright. No. Okay, so it has to do with because your the one where I have opened your audio is on the Twitch. That's where that's where it's causing the problem for me. Yeah, now I think it should be fine because your video was also buffering there. Now it's not buffering, so now I think it should be fine. Your audio that is going on the stream is going from this Twitch meeting.
Okay, but you can hear me clear now.
Now, yeah, because
I don't know anything about this stuff.
it has to do with the Twitch. So your video was also buffering here, right? And while that was happening, obviously the audio was also buffering. So it is because your voice is not going through Zoom as mine is to you. It's going from the Twitch frame. All right. Nevertheless, we'll start before more.
Do it.
I'm actually starting to think I'll need to play on. There's Fritz, there's Fritz by Chess-Base. It doesn't have like a lot of social features, but it's a solid site still. You can play. There might be cheaters, you might have tough time getting paid and all that, but they don't do bullshit like this, like leeches and church.com. So leeches in particular have always had the problems with their mods. That's what happened, when you take stupid volunteers who versus, paid employees. That's the difference. What kind of person would want to be a mod, right? For free. The kind of person who wants to, ban people and stuff. Takes pleasure in that. So, it's easy to figure out what kind of people are mods there. Paid employee is a different thing. Alright, so what should I do? 10 plus 5? I'm gonna puzzles first, but okay, let's start it. And then probably end. In Rubinstein, if I take 3 bishop, but is not queen. I don't remember or recall anything like that. I remember there's one of the tricks where you try to take a piece and you try to take a knight on e4 because the pawn is removed and then you get mated with rook d8, rook e8. Like there's a knight here, right? And then you have a knight here, your queen is here, and they have a bishop here doing a pin, right? And the uh, the white queen is here on d1, right? The rook is here. So what you do is you say, and this pawn has been moved. So what you do is you say, oh, I will take the queen with a check, rook takes, and I'll win this knight because that also breaks my pin. And then you get that Morphy mated with the rook then coming down here and the bishop covering that, and you get mated right after winning the piece. That's the only thing I can recall from the Rubinstein. They're quite fast as well. Maybe they pair on 10 plus 0 faster.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
You couldn't before though. I was trying to talk.
Oh, yeah. I think it has to do with the Twitch meeting. If you are buffering there, then it'll be right.
Are you hearing double for you?
No, why should I be?
Mm.
Okay, so now I'm getting ready to take, and he won't have a better version of it. He will have a good version of it. I guess he can hit. Oh, he can hit with Queen f6 intermezzo. I should take him back.
Why not? Why not knight d2?
Basically, he will then take. Well, yeah,
Is
he
that
cannot take
good?
immediately, but I don't think getting my queen blocked is a good idea. But actually, knight d2 is a good move because it reinforces the knight with the knight. So he doesn't have simply this takes and then knight takes. So he still has to figure out.
And it unclogs your rook, so if he wants to do queen exchange, your rook still gets out and
Knight d2 is a good move actually. Okay, that's a
stick
solution.
with me, Abby. I'll show you the way.
Yeah. So that's a solution that he now says, all right, I'll not allow
Now
you
can you
to
go
exchange.
h3?
Yeah, h3 is what I want to do, but what does he have? His knight has to go here because f6 is taken. And I need to unclog myself, so I think e3. d4.
And you don't want to go g4 because it's just too committal and scary, and you're actually helping his bishop out.
It is committal. I can see a reasoning for it to go bishop g2. And also I can then this knight is comparatively freer. Even though this knight is still right now, even right now it's free because now I'm not afraid of him taking because he has removed the pressure from this pawn. But he's going queen e7 next, I
Oh,
believe, after maybe a check. Then he's going queen e7 and going to castle queen side. So I do need to move this knight. Yeah, g4 or moving the knight are the two ways. e3 is also a way, but e3 I'm not very eager to play because then the knight gets pinned, and d4 is something we can't do. So knight b3 feels a bit more. d4 was one of the ways to play, I guess. And then with bishop d2, but that still doesn't solve. Because then what are you going to castle king side? Right? Exactly.
right.
So this is how we chose to develop because there was no f6. Bishop b4 was going to be hit with c3, and then I get a knight in d4, and I seem very solid. So what he's doing is putting his knight in d6. So now actually I can go d4. There's more incentive now to go d4 because now he'll have to go bishop here, right?
What about queen d3? I don't know why. No, because then his bishop just goes there, and that doesn't make sense. Okay, forget it. No, I retract my comment.
If I will move, I'll move my queen to d2 if I want to, because I do want to move my queen in
Yeah,
castle. If I want to move, I'll move it there. Is what I'm saying. I can
yeah.
prepare. I can stop knight g6 by going bishop h2 because then knight g6 he just gets his bishop trapped. If my knight was on b5, I could have also, when this knight moves somewhere, then I can also go for this trick. Right,
What's
and
wrong with knight d4?
there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not really doing much.
Okay.
It's not progressing. I need to castle. I need to move my queen and castle, and I'm trying to find a answer to if I can how I can pose more problems for him for his development, right? So bishop
Right.
h2 stops knight g6, and if knight g6 is stopped, then this if this knight doesn't come out, then this doesn't come out, then this doesn't. This is also kind of stuck. They can do like stuff like this, but yeah, is not able to do much. So bishop h2 does look like a move, even though I would rather have my bishop much more flexible on f4, right? Rather than
Yeah.
your upper form and advantage, your upper pawn and
Types like
advantage.
I do.
Huh?
And I said he types like I do.
He wants to say that you're upper pawn and you have the advantage. Why are you taking so much
Yeah.
time? He doesn't realize I'm streaming and explaining also. So yeah, bishop h2.
You could tell him you're streaming so that he can see. But I don't know the legalities behind that. Do you have to tell him before?
What?
If you have to tell them before you play a game that you're streaming.
No, no, that's not all.
Yeah, because then he might want to check out the game and your explanations um on it. I would. I played a guy and I streamed and I told him I was streaming but I couldn't figure out how to share it with him because I didn't want to share my name.
Yeah, this is the solution. This is the solution. Otherwise, he was completely stuck. There was no way to do it. So now his idea is that he will now finally develop an idea, hit my um, hit my pawn twice. But yeah, I don't feel that that is a problem for me. Right? I love my bishop also. The bishop that I have for the
Hmm.
knight. And now actually I might not be too concerned about kingside castling either.
Right.
G6. G6. All right. I can always put my bishop back in f4 if need be, because now there's no this. But there's going to be knight f5 square that he might want to use. And then on g4 maybe he wants to come here. So I might have to allow his knight in f5 for a while. If he does put it there.
Um,
When you do in
I would.
castle, I
What?
think
Wait,
that
was. I'm still like either moving the queen out. Yeah,
when you do in
yeah, I'd
castle,
go there.
there's if you cannot stop knight f5, if you don't try to stop knight f5, then I think queen d2 is also kind of important right now. Otherwise, he goes here.
But what was wrong with d5, d4?
Again, there's nothing wrong, but that's not doing anything, right? I have more stuff that I need to. Okay, c5 is also a square that is currently um, there. But the thing is, there's another thing that I have to watch out for is this coming here, and then I have to figure out how to castle, right? But I do just saw that there is a c5 square, and then it's b7, and if he goes here, I think that's a very good addition for me. Or maybe this out.
He's not going bishop h6 because then you just go queen e2 and then
But he's right in one
f4.
thing that my time, I'm gonna lose because of my time.
Yeah, yeah.
95 there. Yeah, 95 you might just sack the point. You might go and say, okay, take it. And then I might get in trouble for taking it. Because, yeah, so I need to basically, yeah, I think that's what I have to do. Okay, it's your turn. You'll have to start the meeting now. Meeting ended. Takes. I'm fine putting my pawns in the squares. Because I don't need to commit the cat to castling too soon. Yeah, now I'm not so sure if he's going to be able to create anything at all because, yeah, now I don't see his avenues of advantage of counterplay. Not advantage. He's definitely really. Is he trying to go knight a5, knight there? Maybe, maybe. Is it 10 plus 0? Oh shit, this is 10 plus 0, right? I forgot. If it is a 10 plus 5 is 0. It's a 10 plus 0. Okay, I need to play really fast now then. Um, yeah, he's going to put his knight on b5, but that was important because my knight doesn't have good squares right now. He wants to put take here and take there. I'll invite it. Pawn c5. I'll move it away. Move my rook back somewhere. More useful place. Knight f5 is constantly going to be a move I have to figure out. Oh, this I like. This I like. Oh, he's preparing, he's opening that square for his knight on here. I guess, should I take... That's a tough one. Yeah, maybe I should still take with this. This rook was better here, because you can't defend it. Hmm. I want to put my knight to d6. The bishop is dead right now. If that comes to f5, the bishop gets in trouble even further, because then it cannot even come out. And if it comes out, knight f5 is still a problem. Oh, that's interesting. It takes. Okay, where's he going? That doesn't seem like a good move. This pawn suit is not moving, so this seems like proper good move. Yeah, now he's going to move the queen. I'm going to move my queen. His knight is coming to f5. And f5. That's fine. Mine is going to c4 or e4, both of which look at d6. It's the you focus on the game, you can't hear me. The Zoom meeting and it's your turn, but yeah. Um, okay, this is hanging. C3, I forgot to see C3. I can put my rook here first, if he goes knight here. Yeah, I'm gonna put my rook here first. F4 can get in trouble, and if I play G3, my bishop is completely dead. Yeah, I have to do something like this. No time. Now if the knight moves, I'm also putting more pressure on c6 knight, so he has to move like to e7 only. Oh, before, of course, not looking possible. Yeah, this is a good move. Now you can also come to f5 if need be. It's going to be knight c3. Yep, I missed knight c3. And I cannot take the knight. Cannot play plus zeros. There has to be increment. They're not doing anything I cannot see. It's just that I see it after making the move, which is all the difference in the world. There's not even this sack because this is not just a rook, this is mate. back to this bishop on h2. All right. Took with that. Simplifying. There's rook to 8. Now he might say, he also, now I gave him the option to also easily set back if maybe there's not a 5 also. So there's no point in going this any further. Also, I don't have any current, so it's going to be a flag anyways. Yeah, quite annoying to lose these ones. The game has gone wonderfully to a point. There's the analysis. So I think this is the analysis. That's more annoying at this right, and that's just not right. Okay, anything else? Yeah, so that's not a very good version of giving the pawn for him because yeah, the good version is when I take here. The good version of this would be if I take here and then they develop this bishop very nicely like that. Then they can claim some developmental compensation. Yeah, so because of that, he also don't want to take because if he takes, then he's still going to be down a pawn, and then I exchange queens and everything, and then I still take here, right? And this is not really a pin, but he's threatening to first take here and then take here. In that case, he won't be down a pawn. He won't be down a pawn, right? So which is what knight d2 stops. That now you cannot do that because if you take then a knight recapture, then again I have defense of e5. So now this is actually very hard for black to figure out because it's all bad choices. Like if you take it is bad, then you just get yourself a pawn down position with zero compensation, which it basically is. So he chose to make this decision, which is that all right, I'll give you the extra pawn, but now at least you will have the double pawn which will be weak, and I'll attack it later on with knight e7, knight g6, and in the long term, I'll put more pressure on it and try to win it back. And after which he will have equal material on the books. So he goes d5, but that's not that easy. First of all, yes, it might be a double pawn, but this is it's a thorn. It's taking away the d6 and f6 square, both of which um, are crucial for black to have a fluid development. So that is actually a big problem. And if I open the engine, it's already 1 point. It should be like over 1 something, 1.5 even. H3, asking him a question. Do you want to take or do you want to do what? So making him choose between staying on flexible here or keeping the pin intact, in which case then he has to go back. And here finally this was chosen because now he doesn't have, because he gave up the pressure on e5. The second he gives up the pressure on e5, now this is no longer a problem. If he takes because he's not threatening to take it back immediately. So he plays knight g97, and the point is that this will come here, hit the bishop, and also hit this a second time. The queen will in later some point come to e7, and he will try to then get the pawn back. But that is not happening because the thing is, it's very difficult. So see, as long as the knight stays on e7, the bishop cannot come out this way. The queen cannot come out to this or this. The c7 pawn is also blocked by this knight. This knight, there's super plus knight. So it's very hard to imagine the scheme of development for black here without this knight moving. So this knight really needs to move. Get on with this, and then maybe bishop e7 or bishop b4 because c5 is not available. And then somehow He chose, for example, g6 in the game to get the bishop out this way. But yeah, the next move is aimed against him, allowing him knight g6, which is to go here. Because if you try to do that after going like if you try to go like g4 afterwards, then it's not trapped because he has this. Actually, it is trapped. Yep, it is trapped because here I get a 5. So this was not a way for him to get out of it. But the problem is that here he won't take my knight, or here he won't go even knight g6. Oh, actually, the second problem with e3 is that this knight gets pinned, so e5 control is weakened, but he cannot immediately take it because the bishop is still protecting it. And when he puts the second attacker on it, right then g4 hits and he's trapped. So this is an improvement over bishop h2, which tries to stop knight g6 by threatening to trap the bishop with g4. The tactical point being that he still is trapped. It still traps the bishop because the bishop has no way out even after knight f4 is done. So that should have been thought out more meticulously before just moving the bishop back. To h2, which I didn't want to do anyways. Bishop is much more flexible on f4. And if you move g3 makes much more sense because like otherwise in the end there was a back rank issue because the bishop was on h2. So bishop g3 makes more sense. But the problem is why I cannot do bishop g3 is on knight g6 I want g4. Alright, so and he takes it because he's trying to play knight g6, or as in the game he went g6, both of which are not possible because both of them gets the bishop trapped. So he first had to get rid of his bishop again, which is not strategically a great thing to do. It's not a position where like my light square bishop is going to be bad and his knight is going to be good. If anything, it's going to be the reverse of that. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm trying not to commit to castle to give him any unnecessary counter chances. And if once he castle kingside, I'm also going to follow to win the game in a more easier manner. And yeah, at this point, a little more time is needed to. Yeah, I think this pawn belongs to c3. Yeah, so Ray can get that, but that's very much in my favor if I can trade everything off. He can take this off, but yeah. And yeah, that looks much better. So c3 was a better move here. a4 I don't want to do, but when you are low on time, that's what you do because um, that is the most straightforward way to stop this from moving. But the other thing, the better thing to do was to go c3 to allow a4, and then have a nice square on here, and he cannot go c5 without moving the knight, and his knight doesn't have a good b4 square to move. Of course, he would move something like c5 and then do this. But the second he goes c5, then like in the game, the d6 square is great info, and thank you. I have to go for a little bit. All right. The second he goes c5, the knight goes to the d6 square. So that's where improvements could have been made, but at this point, there's no increments, you tend to make more intuitive, impulsive moves, and not intuitive because I don't want to. By intuition, I don't want to go. So I know that it's giving up unnecessarily no holes in the position. All right, this was played in anticipation of him taking the bishop, but he didn't take the bishop, of course, because his diagonal position is bad. Yeah, now after c3 takes, this position gets only better and better for white. Now they're in trying to get more squares for him, which he did manage to get some holes and squares and some play. He actually has given up a lot to white also. There's very nice pieces for white. This knight needs to reroute itself to d6. And this bishop is a question that has to be solved, but I believe it will be solved via it going to h4 before knight f5 could hit it, and this knight then making bishop f6 possible, or things like that. Yeah, here is where there's no time to calculate at the same time, explain at the same time, play with this time. I would have done a 10-5, but they don't. They don't pair for an hour on 10-5. All right, we start moving. I'll try to explain less this time. Vacated that. You guys might be 16. Yeah, this is the correct move. Taking would have cost him lots of problems. This is the correct move. Which is interesting that he knows that. Usually in bulletin blitz, regardless of if they're 2400 or 2500, they will take. Because you don't think that much in g5. Apparently it does. Now because of this, a4 is the problem, and on a3, there's always bishop takes a2 to worry about, especially after knight b6, knight c4. It's all about is my kind of playing time or not. I can do knight g3, takes, or takes, bishop b4, just going out. Because trying to break it with e4 might be a little bit too slow. I'll go for it anyways. I should actually play 3-2 or something. I think it's good. Let's see this. I'm forced to go. Also, listen to myself. Is it a status or no? I need to put it in fruits or something. Or maybe I need to put box. With units of value. Do some shit. I'm trying to do it right now. Do you have any thoughts on the kind of? Yeah.